Hey, John.
Hey, Adrian, how you doing?
Great. Thanks for having me here at Apparel Redefined in Crestwood, Illinois for DTF Printing's 10 questions.
Thank you so much for coming. We're honored.
How did you get your start in the apparel industry?
It's a long story, but I'll try and keep it short. So right out of college, I was working at a sporting goods store, and a family friend purchased a screen printing company back in 2006, and he asked me if I wanted to be his partner. And at that time, I was coaching high school baseball, and it was kind of the beginning of the Nike Dry Fit, Under Armour, Locker Tee era. And selfishly, I wanted to get my baseball players in the coolest, best merch. I'm like, this is kind of a good synergy. I can order the apparel, we can print it, and we can recruit and have the best teams. So selfishly, it was to get better talent at our old high school. And then we kind of unknowingly carved our niche into athletic apparel decoration. And fast forward almost 20 years, here we are now.
Do you have DTF technology in-house?
We do. We actually do. We have actually a brand new stealth machine that's still crated. They're coming tomorrow to install. We have another machine over here.
Can we check it out?
Absolutely. Follow me.
What types of clients do you have?
We have a multitude of clients. A lot of our clients are in the athletic space. We decorate for the big three. We do a little bit of retail work, but a lot of our work is contract work. And we focus on all types of decoration. We have screen print, obviously DTF, we have DTG, we have sewing, we have embroidery, laser graphics, we have graphic design. We really want to partner with people that are technology first and want to elevate their brand. So having this full plethora of decoration types allows our customers to sell more and stress less.
What's the biggest challenge with DTF?
Right now, the biggest challenge with DTF is kind of the same thing that DTG went in the inception of the technology. There's a lot of unknown. There's a lot of manufacturers, a lot of suppliers rushing to get into this really hot space. Who do you partner with? Where are they getting their supplies? Because the same thing with DTG, it really affects one of the biggest components is color. So having color consistency across machine, even within the same building, is really tough to do. Conversely to screen printing, where you get a formula and go match an ink, it's not that simple in DTF. And in our industry, Ohio State Red's got to be Ohio State Red. U of I orange has got to be U of I orange, no matter if it's screen printed, embroidered, or DTF. So right now, that is the biggest component because it all changes when you change film, you change adhesive, you change heat settings. So there's a lot more variables. Nothing that's not unsolvable, but it's just new. You have the analog space, you got a DTF or a digital space, and there's a unique set of problems, but problems are only unfound solutions.
What's the biggest benefit?
Biggest benefit of DTF is flexibility, right? In the screen print world, you get a 7-color job and someone wants 22 pieces, you're not going to do it. And I personally hate saying no. If you talk to my team around here, it's probably my biggest downfall. I don't like saying no. This enhances your ability to say yes more often, and being able to help educate the customer on what the best solution is for their unique application. Also, online stores. Online stores are huge. They're not going anywhere in the industry. But you have that kind of trepidation if you're the salesperson where it's like, hey, the customer really wants this image. It's a 5-color design. They have cotton t-shirts. They have polyester t-shirts. We don't know how many they're going to sell. Before it would be like, hey, if you don't hit 24 pieces, we're not going to make it. But now you eliminate that and you can print one shirt. You can print 24 shirts or 100 shirts. So it really gives you the flexibility as a producer to not be afraid of not hitting those minimums.
What's your number one tip for others entering this space?
I think if you're going to enter this space, you got to figure out what you are, right? If you are low cost, high speed, your quality, you have to align with what your equipment purchase is going to be with what you want to do. And it doesn't mean if you're a screen printer, you can't also do DTF. It's kind of the same thing with DTG years ago. It is a little bit of the Wild West. There's a lot of options out there, but you can have all three technologies or both technologies work side by side with each other. If you think of sampling, someone wants to come in and they want to see, they might order 520 pieces of, a 5-color design. You can do a quick sample on a DTF right now and actually show them a physical sample. So I would use it to enhance both sides of your business, but again, also know what you're trying to do. If you're looking to put out high quality, that's going to limit the vendors and partners and equipment that you're working with. And understand that because there's a lot on the market. Same thing with DTG years ago. 2 years after that, you go on Facebook Marketplace, you saw a lot of the machines for sale. So we're kind of in that hockey stick growth era right now. And just know what your goals are, know what your expectations are, and communicate with your partners what those are. And they should, if they're the right people, they should align and drive you to where you should be going.
What's one thing you wish you could change about the DTF space today?
I think acceleration of output. You know, everyone wants everything tomorrow, and we're going through the iterative space right now of testing, repeat, test, repeat, improve, and it's just a long time. And as a producer like us, we want the best product tomorrow, and you have to go through this sticky kind of process of what's the best film to use, what's the best ink system, what's the best adhesive, the best temperature setting, pressure. There's a lot of variables that go in, similar to screen print. But for me, one thing I wish I could change is we could just play the fast forward button and get to that end use where we got a great feel, great vibrancy, color consistency. We're not there yet, we're getting there, but there is that 2 to 3 years kind of struggle to get to that best product.
Where do you see DTF technology in the next few years?
Where is that right now, which is complementing contract or apparel decoration, where you have a segment for DTG, segment for DTF, segment for screen print. It's going to replace, like we see a lot of DTF taking a lot of embroidery orders. Like if you have, think of like a soccer shield where it's got a lot of detail, like a coat of arms type look, and you're trying to embroider that on essentially an Under Armour locker tee, and you can't get all that detail, or if you do, it'll start to pucker. So it's really taking that space, and again, it's to feel a really thin shirt. Think Lululemon, think Patagonia, those type of polos. DTF's a great solution for that. Also, you know what we talked about before, anything with low quantity, high color count, and you have a myriad of fabric types where you go on poly, cotton, all those type of different things. It's a great solution for that. So I feel like as the field continues to improve, we don't need to do so much of the fabric instead of for the artwork. You're gonna see a lot of improvement there.
What's your favorite part of your job?
It's a loaded question, but for me, it's about team building, relationship building. Like I always tell my people, clients, family when I ask the same question. I don't care if I was making brake pads, chairs, t-shirts, golf balls, whatever it is. I have the opportunity to create long-standing relationships in this industry with my clients and also my internal clients, which is, you know, my employees and my team. You know, I've been doing this now for almost 19 years. 3 or 4 of those people have been with me all 19 years. My leadership team's been with me everyone on the team's been with me at least 7-8 years. When you talk about, you know, family business, team type environment, I mean, this is kind of like coming to locker room every day and bullshit. You get stuff done, you work hard, you play hard. And same thing with our clients, right? You know, we travel around the world, we go to trade shows, we meet up with clients, go see what they're doing, and we have a great time together. And I always say, like, even though we do t-shirts, you think you'd have the power to create and end lives, because a deadline's a deadline. Friday Night Lights are Friday Night Lights. You cannot get football uniforms there on Saturday. So you would not believe the power that a t-shirt conveys. A uniform satisfies that highest need of belonging. And when people want it, they want it, and they trust us to get it done. And that's really cool. We have a hand in delivering the memory, delivering the experience via decorated apparel.
One final question for you, John. Who's your biggest sports influence and why?
It's a loaded question too. I can't just pick one because there's a difference between coach and player, right? And for me, probably the biggest player that's had an impact in my life is Wayne Gretzky. My dad took me all over the country following Wayne's career. I was fortunate enough to see him in LA, St. Louis, New York, and just, you know, see greatness. I mean, his records speak for themselves, like just total dominance of the sport, and really did it in a class way. I know this is another one that will upset people, but I love Aaron Rodgers and Brett Favre. I think that they are absolutely phenomenal what they do. And then on the coaching side of it, never got to see or meet the guy, but Vince Lombardi, I think when you talk about a person, you talk about integrity, I don't think there's anyone in the world that's met him, read his books, knew him, that had ever had a bad thing to say about him. The leadership principles that he's instilled in myself and probably millions of people from reading his books and talking to people that met with him, it's powerful. You know, like you talk about your reputation never dies and precedes yourself. When you talk about someone that's been gone for, you know, close to 60 years and the power and significance that his name still carries, it's someone that you could definitely, you know, look up to and say, hey, if I do things like him, things will be all right.